Hi, I'm Father Mike Dekowitz, the Director of the Addiction Recovery Ministry. And every Monday at 1 o'clock, we provide a brief reflection on issues surrounding addiction and recovery. For the past several weeks, we've been looking at the 12 traditions of AA. This week, we're going to look at Tradition 3. Tradition 3 says the only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. In other words, you are a member of AA if you say you are. You're a member of AA the minute you declare yourself a member of AA. These lines are from the 12 and 12 book. They describe the only requirements for membership in any 12-step recovery program. It is your desire to stop drinking, to stop using. You determine whether you are a member. The only requirement is desire. Desire is the key word. The desire to stop drinking, to stop using. Remember, I think the operative word in Tradition 3 is desire. Not conviction, but desire. I think that often what leads us to AA or NA is first that our drinking or using we perceive as being out of control. And oftentimes, what we want when we initially begin this journey is to learn how to control our use. This desire begins with the desire to be able to control or to manage our use. But that desire to control can lead to a desire to stop. Often, we begin to go to meetings to learn how to control or how to manage our use. We just can't imagine a life without booze or without drugs. But we also realize that we're out of control, that we have to somehow fix the chaos we live in. If only we get a handle on it, if we get a handle on our use, if we can manage it, then we could live our lives. So we may even begin to go to meetings. And as we go to these meetings, we listen. We listen to people tell their stories. We may begin to learn to really like some of what we hear. We begin to form relationships in those meetings. But absolute sobriety, never to have a drink or a drug again for the rest of your life, it just seems impossible. The very concept is frightening. But as we hear these people, they are sober. These are people who are alcoholics and addicts who are now living a sober life. Their lives are free from the shackles of addiction and alcoholism. Maybe, just maybe, it's possible to stop. Maybe, just maybe, it may be possible to be sober. There, in that moment of clarity, when we say to ourselves, maybe I can be sober. Maybe I can be clean like these other people in the meeting. In that moment, the seed is planted. And once that seed is planted, it can begin to grow if it is nourished. Remembering always desire. Desire is the key to the hope of a life of sobriety. Now, desire is very fragile. We need to really work hard at nurturing and nourishing that seed of desire that has been planted in our souls. Remember, sobriety is fragile, and substance abuse addiction is a very cunning disease. We need to work diligently at honesty. We need to work at our program. We need to go to meetings. No matter how much we don't want to, we need to get off the couch, out of the house, and at a meeting. We need to get a sponsor. Work with a sponsor. Call a sponsor. We need to participate in the fellowship. We need to provide service. We need to live the 12 steps. That is how we nurture and nourish that seed of desire that can blossom into recovery. That's how desire grows into sobriety. It is hard work, but it must be worked at. So your desire to stop is the only requirement for membership. The desire itself is the seed, is the very seed planted within our being from which sobriety can take root and grow. We plant the seed in the hole in our soul. There it can take root if we nurture and nourish it and blossom into sobriety. Now next week, we're going to look at Tradition 4. And Tradition 4 says each group should be autonomous, except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. So next week, we'll be leaving the area of desire. We're going to begin to look at the idea of fellowship and how it is in the soil of that fellowship where that seed of desire is planted. There in the fellowship of 12-step recovery, the promise of sobriety can grow. So thank you. Let's conclude today with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Goodbye. God bless.